Welcome, and thank you for joining us for our Tuesday Treasure program, where we go through some of the lesser seen objects in the museum's collection. My name, as always, is Nicole Carpenter. I'm the Programs and Collections Director here at the Westport Museum for History and Culture. At the museum, we are pleased to offer this program free of charge, but we do appreciate any support that you can give. We have a suggested donation of $5, but we understand this is still a very difficult time for most, so we appreciate any support that you can give. This includes following us on all of our social media accounts. If at any point during the program you have any questions, comments, or anecdotes that you'd like to share, please put them in the comments box. We are always monitoring these videos and answering those questions and sharing those anecdotes as much as we can. Before we jump into the individual objects about the Westport Bank Trust, I'd like to give you a little general history, as we normally start with. The bank itself was founded in 1852 by none other than Horace Staples, the namesake of Westport's high school today. He also led the philanthropic effort to fund the original high school back in 1884. The Westport Bank Trust Company was housed at 87 Post Road East until 1996. Today, it houses the Patagonia store, and you can still see its 14-ton bank vault door behind the counter. The classical revival structure, made of mostly brick, it was designed by local architect Charles E. Cutler and was built in 1924. It features mostly brick, but also a very odd kind of rectangular structure. Cutler also designed the Greens Farms Elementary School here in Westport. On December 14th of 1996, the Westport Bank Trust merged with the Bridgeport Bank, Lafayette American Bank and Trust Company. It no longer operated out of Westport, and the building was left vacant. This 13.5-inch by 7-inch canvas deposit bag features an image of a boat on a water with the slogan, "The soundest bank on the Sound since 1852. The company, Westport Bank Trust, is located just below the boat insignia. The design of this deposit bag is similar to other catalog deposit bags originating in the 80s and 90s. Due to the fair condition of the bag, it's safe to say it was created during that period. Deposit bags started as items of convenience. This was common for those who wished to drop off a deposit at the bank of their choice after operating hours, so that a teller would immediately deposit the bag the following business day. The bag would be returned to the patron, provided their name was inscribed on it. However, this method was susceptible to theft, as the bags provided no security for their contents. This led to an improvement of the design to ensure the contents of the deposit bags would remain secure. Today, tamper-free deposit bags are offered at many major banks. When the bags are opened, it is clear that the deposit has been tampered with. It is likely that the Westport Bank Trust Company bag was complimentary, perhaps upon one's opening of an account at the bank. Now, it is more common that a fee is required to obtain a tamper-free deposit bag. This particular deposit bag was donated to the museum by Karen Giannitti. This Bank Trust leather checkbook came to the museum in 2021. It is originally dated June 13th, 1951. It is roughly 3 inches by 5 inches when it's closed, and it has numerous unwritten checks. Along with the date, it is also printed with 2JW woodwork, flower pot. The front and back are made of patterned leather, and the front features an emblem with the words Westport Bank Trust Company, Westport, Connecticut. The check paper is yellow and also has the company's name printed across the top of the check in blue lettering, as well as Westport, Connecticut. Checks have been around since ancient times in some form or another, but were popularized in the 20th century. Today, billions of checks are issued every year. This steel adding bank was also donated to the museum in 2021. Both it and the leather checkbook that we looked at previously were donated to the museum by Bill Scheffler. This adding bank is dated to around the 31st of March in 1942. This stout cylindrical object is made of steel, as I mentioned before. It features some red lettering. On the bottom of the object are the words, "Add, O Bank." These steel banks were produced by the Steel Products Corporation of California, which was headquartered at 915 Linden Avenue in San Francisco. Today, the building is occupied by the Bay City Boilers Engineering Company. Similar banks have been found at other museums around the nation. Most are made of steel but painted in a dull maroon color, perhaps with yellow lettering instead of our red. When a coin is put into the bank, a lever would update a counter located on the top of the bank with the value of the coins inside. The Ada Bank in our collection is dated to around 1942, as that's when its patent was produced. These banks became popularized in the post-war era, just after World War II, with the hopes of an economic prosperity. Citizen Bank began selling these Ada banks mainly to encourage children to save money in the late 40s. Ada banks could contain up to $20 in coins. These banks were sold at $2 apiece, measuring about 4.5 inches in diameter and 1 3/4 inches in height. These banks were sold in a variety of colors, red, yellow, and were able to hold nickels, dimes, and quarters. They would be brought, usually, around every month to deposit into one's bank account. This Westport Bank and Trust Company counting bank was also donated to the museum in 2021. This is a savings bank with a counter and a keyhole on the top. The design of this bank was also patented in 1942 by Denver H. Greer of the San Francisco-based Steel Products Corporation of California. Other banks have utilized Greer's design and had their bank's name branded on the device. The top of this bank is extremely faded, but vaguely looks like the emblem of the Westport Bank and Trust Company, with the name of the bank encircled around it. The purpose of these devices was to keep one's change safe in a hard-to-tamper-with container. The requirement of a key ensures that the capital held inside would be secure. The last bank associated with the Westport Bank and Trust that we have in the collection is shaped like a wardrobe. Made of tin, this 8 by 4-inch mini bank reads, "Early American thrift is still in style at the Westport Bank and Trust Company, a home bank in a town of homes. Member FDIC." A coin slot is found beneath this text. The FDIC is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, an agency that supplies deposit insurance to Americans. It was created in 1933 by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. This does not seem to be a counting bank, as there is no means of keeping track of the number of coins inside, yet it serves as a place to store coins, much like a piggy bank today. The reason for the wardrobe shape of the mini bank is unknown, but it seems to be unique to the Westport Bank and Trust Company. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next month for spring cleaning, where we'll go through some of the items used to freshen up the home for the spring season in the museum's collection. Thank you.